Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here. It's the evening of Thursday the 25th of July 2024. Right, well, I was going to do some more work on Greg's Bonnie up there. However, because last weekend at Founders Day Rally, this was so close to running, then I thought I'd have another quick look at this and time it up. It was firing when we tried to start it up, but wasn't picking up. So I think it's just a case of the ignition being retarded. And for those that follow the channel, then you'll know that I was rushing around a bit before Founders Day trying to time this up properly, and really didn't do a too accurate a job on it statically. So we'll try and rectify that now, and see if we can get it to fire up tomorrow. It's late evening at the moment, but I just thought I'd spend a bit of time in the garage and have a look at it. So all I've got to do is take the points cover off, take the rotor cover off, get the bulb, etc., and we'll do a static time first, and then once we get it running reasonably well on the static time, then we can obviously strobe it up. Right, let's get the covers off and get the tools. Right, there we go, points cover off. Rotor cover off. Now, I've got the rotor set with the timing mark there against my timing mark just there. You can see it possibly, there you go, a nick in that lug. And what that transposes to up at the top end is that let's get this light out of the way. The auto advance cam rotates the same way as the engine, and these points here are just about to open. Now, with this points back plate, it's all a bit tight around the bottom here, and as a result, only one of these sets of points has got a sort of an independent slave back plate, which is this one. So really, actually, we should be timing up the other one first, which is on the main back plate, and then altering this one to make sure these are exactly, if you like, 90 degrees to one another, with the heel of the points, I say 90 degrees to one another. So what I can do, probably the best thing, is to turn the engine backwards, because remember this is a 180 twin, so we'll turn it back 180 degrees and see what we get then. Right, well, you can tell it's late at night and my brain's not engaged because I wasn't thinking about that properly. So the auto advance cam goes in the opposite direction to the crank, because there's an idler gear on the other side that drives the sprocket for the cam chain. So it's going to be the opposite direction. So this rotates anti-clock when the crank's going clockwise. So I've turned the crank clockwise now, 180 degrees, not anti-clock. This has moved this round so that this set of points now should be about to open. So we can time that one up first. And as I say, to move that set of points on its back plate relative to the auto advance cam, then we need to move the whole back plate. And then when we get around to these points, these have got a slave, if you like, a slave back plate. You can't see it very well. There it is. There's your slave back plate, which can be moved independently. Right, we'll get there. Well, I've statically timed it again, and it was too advanced. And we've got a slight issue. Well, of course we have, because it's a Fury. And that is that to obviously to retard it, then we've got to rotate the contact breaker back plate anti-clockwise. But up here with the slots with the mounting sleeve nuts, and we can't rotate it anti-clock anymore because we're right at the edge of the slot on the main back plate. We're just about there, but I think it's still too advanced, and slightly too advanced. There are, you know, there's fudge factors in, well, let's reduce the points gap, but the points gap is down at sort of 10th thou anyway, which is a bit low. It should be 12 to 15. And it's still a bit too advanced. So I think what I'm going to have to do is obviously take the back plate off and just extend the slots. Although you can't see it on the top one because there's quite a big washer behind it, there is space on the top one. It's this bottom one down here. You won't be able to see it, but it's right at the left-hand end of the slot, so I can't rotate it any further anti-clockwise. Anyway, I'll probably leave it there as a quick update as to what we've found, because I'm taking a break and having a bit of a holiday. So yeah, let's leave it there. That's a very quick few minute update. The other news arising out of the outcome of Founders Day is that the Lightning is running really well. So let's leave that one alone and concentrate on this. And then when we get back, we've got to crack on with Greg's Bonnie. I might be able to do a bit tomorrow. I don't go away for a couple of days. I might do a bit on that tomorrow, Greg. And then about a week after I get back, there's another triple booked in, really. Another rough running triple to have a look at, and it's Hurricane. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, I'll stop. Well, it's the next morning, the 26th, and you know how it is after a refreshing night's sleep. All of a sudden you have a bit of an epiphany. And that is that I need to time this up properly. And I'm just wondering now whether my mark on the rotor cover screw lug may be a little inaccurate. But we can check that out because the crank has got a hole, so you can insert a timing pin in the crankcase to lock the crank in the right position to statically time. So we might have to go back to that. But the other thing as well is that I know some of you will be screaming, well, instead of having to maybe extend the slots in the contact breaker back plate, why don't you just move the auto advance unit around on its taper on the cam? And just to remind you that it's not on a taper on the cam, it's held in place by a pin that goes into that slot. So the auto advance back plate can only go in one position. However, what I haven't checked properly, because I thought it was right, is whether or not, you know, I've got the cam 180 degrees out on its back plate, because that can go into one or two positions. So there we go, plenty to check and to get right, and we need to do that before we do any serious running on this. However, it won't be today because I'm about to go on a break or a holiday. So what we'll do is we'll get back onto this and the Bonnie at the back there as soon as we get back. So that's where I'll definitely leave it for now. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Thanks for your interest and any subscription comments. and I'll see you all again soon. Take care, stay well, and safe riding. Toodaloo.